What's that saying about don't work on a Sunday?
No, this is a bad deal.
Why? Because we're working on a Sunday. That's why. That only. Oh my God. Oh, this is farming. I'm gonna go home now. I quit.
Hey, you can see Andy over there getting truck stuff loaded up. Kelly had to take Carter to the ball game tonight, and I'm on this tractor. Andy's out there all by himself. Well, I will say this thing is pulling significantly easier now that we got some moisture in the ground. However, that moisture got down a lot deeper than what I thought it did. I can't believe how wet an inch of rain got our ground, considering how, I mean, it was absolutely bone dry. But anyway, like I said, it's definitely pulling a lot easier. I mean, it's not having any problem maintaining 5 miles an hour, maybe up to 5.5 miles an hour. This auto shift function on this tractor really helps. But with it being as wet as it is, I mean, I can see the soil being lifted up right there around the shanks, but I don't really see the heaving in between the shanks that I did before the rain. But my main concern was actually making a mess of things, and it doesn't look like it's too wet to do that. It's just enough moisture in the ground. I don't think we're getting the shatter that we were getting before the rain. I don't know, this is my first try at subsoiling or ripping, whatever you want to call it, and we're learning as we go. But anyway, we'll definitely have a good test plot next year. Have several acres where it was pulling dang near to China because the gauge wheel was off the rim. And then we got about 5 acres that I got the other night before it got too wet where it was pulling properly. And then we're gonna have, well, roughly half of this, what I'm gonna do, having ripped it after the rain. So we'll get to study this all next year, the cotton crop, and I'll let you know what I think about it. Now, as I promised, let me give you some action. Well, we finally got that farm done. Hit a few tough places across the road too. So it's gonna be all the ripping we're gonna do. Man, Jordan, I can't thank you enough, man. It's a pleasure driving this tractor, and I really appreciate the use of it the last several nights. If you ever need some ripping done, man, you got my number. I'm your man. It's about 12:15. We're gonna pull here the gin, get this thing fueled up, take it back first thing in the morning while we're waiting on the dew to dry. Ooh, I'm tired and I'm hungry. Well, we'll see y'all back out here in the cornfield in the morning. Alright, we got done with Campbell home place, and finally got moved up here in Madison County. We got back into some real good corn now. We got done with our 6744, and now we're back on some Pioneer 1464, one of my favorite varieties that I've ever planted. It's not the prettiest to look at when it's ready to harvest. Usually got some tops broken out, but it's a yielder, and we're up here on some we're on some hill ground. It's more productive hill ground than what we got in Crockett County, but it's not the best dirt in the world, and we're over 200 or 220 right now. This corn is definitely a yielder. Yeah, that last farm, it was mighty disappointing. I figured it went about 25 bushels less than what I thought it should have. It wound up averaging like 175. We had some hill ground there in Crockett County, some 6744, same variety, planted at the same time, that out yielded that. I don't know if it was the plowing or I don't know what it was. Andy ran some ripper strips in there this morning. We got, I don't know, about 300-foot strip through the middle of the field that we'll get to study it next year. If compaction was the problem, that should get rid of it. Woo, 240, yes sir. I'll take that. Yeah, our next several farms are going to be this Pioneer 1464, and for the most part, I expect it to do pretty good. There's one hill farm here in Madison County that I think it'll do decent, but it's never been real terribly productive. Then we'll finish up our corn harvest with some decabs, some 69.99. I'm pretty excited about that variety, and just looking at it in the field, man, it's got some honking big ears, so we'll finish up our corn harvest with that. I tell you what, I'm plumb whooped. And we've had 4 late nights, 3 of them ripping, 1 of them making videos. I'm whooped. You know what's keeping me going though? Big old mug of coffee in our Griggs Farms LLC tumbler here. This will keep your coffee hot all day long. You can have your very own tumbler just like that. Just be sure to go to farmmerchbin.com. That's our online store. Order something from Madison. She's the one that's making all this stuff. All this stuff is made in-house, and then she'll ship you out one. If you don't want a tumbler, you want a hat, shirt, hoodie. I mean, if weather's about to turn cold, y'all need your sweatshirts and your hoodies. Go ahead and get you one of those too. Got license plate, stickers, koozies. I'm sure you'll be able to find something you like on there, but anyway, the link is down in the description below. Any kind of business y'all want to send our way, we sure would appreciate it. Not only will you be helping support our farm, you also be supporting another local family-owned small business. Y'all watch this, see if I can get a rise out of Kelly. Looks like she's on the phone. Oh, no comment from her. She's got some cab corn now though. The reason I've got to wait for her to get done dumping before I dump on her is that how we keep track of all of our weights for every farm is the scale on the grain cart. and you know, not only for our wreckers, but for the landlords that are on shares, you know, keeping track of, you know, what they're going to make too. So I can't be dumping on the grain buggy while it's you know, actively unloading. Otherwise, you know, the accurate rate can't get recorded. Woo-wee, man, we in some good corn here. Andy might have just made it back to the bins to unload, and here we are, already filled up, and that'll probably be full by the time we get down yonder. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Decal has done us good so far this year. I'm really happy with it, but Pioneer 1464 will probably always be my favorite. Man, you just can't beat it. But I don't think with this kind of corn we're gonna get done with this farm today. Not even close. We just can't keep it hauled off. That's the kind of problems I like having though. I don't mind sitting around waiting a little bit. After all, my ball's gonna be on the SEC network here in about 20 minutes. Hopefully redeem themselves after that stinker of a game they had against the Florida Gators last week. Well, we were having a good day. Apparently the arm on the automatic tarp came off the back there. Oh boy, let's go see what we're dealing with. How the heck did that come off?
I have no idea, but he was driving down and this whole thing was bouncing off of this. So it just must come off. I have no clue, but it looks like that pin or whatever that holds this in is gone. The whole bearing's gone.
No, it's not. It's a plastic bearing.
Well, didn't work, did it? There's not a lot of tension, so I said pull it over so we can get it at least back on.
Yeah, it's spring loaded. There's no way you're gonna get it back on with it folded up. Go ahead and drop it all the way down. Yeah, what holds this thing on? Looks like just a rivet.
I mean, it came through, but it looks like it's broke off.
Yeah, I think we had to drill a hole through there and put this rivet through here, but yeah, it's completely broke.
So we'll just have to run with no tarp.
All right, we got it back up on there, but I can't remember whenever we installed it, but it looks like it's got 2 rivets going through the plastic bearing into the pipe there, and those rivets broke. So Andy came up with a good solution. We'll just put some self-tapping screws through that bearing into the pipe there, and that ought to work a lot better. However, we don't have any out here. It's getting close to dark, so we're just going to leave the tarp open and load the truck a little lighter, because probably about one more load, probably all we're going to be able to get done today. And we'll put some self-tapping screws in there in the morning. Those self-tapping screws should be a lot stouter than those that rivet was. Oh man, look at the way that dust is hanging in the field. That'd make for a heck of a drone shot if I can get unloaded and get started back in time. day. Well, a heck of a day. We almost got done with this farm, about another load and a half, and we'll be done with this. So this high yielding corn, we got across quite a bit more than what I was expecting to today. So I think some weather might have a chance of moving in tomorrow afternoon, but we're gonna hit it hard in the morning, get it across as much as we can. So I reckon I'll get this sucker blown off and be ready to go in the morning. All right, we're getting a little bit later start than what I wanted to this morning. We had to get the tarp on the grain trailer fixed, and it wasn't just simple as putting 2 self-tapping screws in there. I guess whenever we took the thing to the sandblaster, he took some things loose and whatever on that automatic tarp system and didn't get them positioned exactly back the right angle, so we had to take a lot of it loose and shift it and get it lined back up and everything. Then we put our screws in there, so hopefully it'll be good to go now. We got about 6-7 more acres right here on the back side of the farm, and then we'll be moving on down the road. Hopefully the excellent yields will maintain themselves.
What's that saying about don't work on a Sunday?
No, this is a bad deal.
So legit, okay, I pulled the truck from, it was sitting where those tires were, and I pulled it from there to here, and in between there and here, somehow the electrical popped out of there, and then, oh, it gets better, wrapped itself around the axle. Why did you break it, Andy? Why? What did you do?
That was not me.
I mean, like, there's no way. That makes no sense why it would be loose. Everything was attached when I looked. Because I walked up there and I looked at everything. I was like, oh, okay, everything looks good. You know, I'm not going to close it. Let's just go. Everything was attached. Then I come down here and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I have no air pressure. I can't go anywhere. And it's stuck. Like, there's nowhere. So then I come out here. He shows up and he goes, hey, why is that cord like that? Look at this. Why? Because we're working on a Sunday. That's why. Oh my God.
We have a bad day.
I didn't break it. It broke itself because we're working on a Sunday. I mean, how does one thing break literally from going from here to here? This is farming. I'm gonna go home now. I quit.
Well, crap, no sooner than I turned the combine on, Kelly calls. She's bringing the truck out here. Says all of a sudden the back wheels on the brakes locked up and she can hear air leaking out. So guarantee you one of those air lines burst on the back of the trailer, and with it being a Sunday, I don't know where I'm going to get a line made at, if any place. Stay tuned.
Okay, so I called Matt and I explained. I literally moved, and somehow in that amount of feet, the entire truck is jacked up. And then, you know, I get a 3rd degree. So apparently there's a lot that's broke. I mean, you don't understand, like, how can you go from sitting right there where the tires are to here to have this kind of mess? Unfreaking believable. Because it's a Sunday and we should be in church. That's why. So I'm sorry, Lord. We will go to church. I apologize. Look at this. Oh, good God.
At least the tarp cover, I mean, these cords, they look fine. The green one, that's toast. You
Okay.
can see it.
Well, you know what? We don't need a tarp anyways. It's not gonna rain. It'll be fine.
The tarp's the only one that's good. The lights are shot.
Okay, the lights, whatever. We don't need lights. We'll run till 6 o'clock. Oh, it'll be fine. I'm just worried about everything else.
No turning.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, it's shot too.
It's shot too?
Yeah.
All right. All right. You know what? If we're going to do it, we're going to do it right, and it's going to be completely busted.
We're going to mess it up. It's gonna
We're
be
going to, I mean,
full
it messed itself up. Apparently, she said, I don't want to work today, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap all these cords in there. Like, I'm
I'm gonna leave the green one so you can see it.
Where?
No, man, it's all right.
Oh,
there.
jeez. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Come on, let's get it under. Hold on, move out the way. Let's get it from underneath the carriage. Let everybody know. This is what can happen on a Sunday. Wow. I mean, you're gonna do it right, so. Good job. No, I'm just kidding. We didn't break it, it broke itself. It said, nah. So, you can go get them. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna go back to the house.
All right, update. The trailer harness and the air lines going from the truck to the trailer, according to Kelly, somehow managed to wrap themselves around either the axle or the drive shaft. I have absolutely no idea how that is even possible. They're 4 to 5 feet away from any of that. The only thing that I can possibly think of is when we're working on the trailer, somehow maybe we dislodged an airline or something and it hung down. But even then, I still don't, I don't know how it happened. So our day might be completely shot. For the life of me, I do not understand how some of this stuff happens to us. Stuff that's never been seen or could even remotely happen. It happens to us. Luckily, I think that there's a Kenworth dealer that we've had work at done before that I think they're open 24/7. And depending on what all's tore up, hopefully they've got the parts we need. That's the only option, getting this stuff on a Sunday. All right, Andy, does it meet the trucker's approval?
It meets my approval. Kelly, you think you can break this one?
I will drop you like a bad habit. I didn't break it, it broke on me. And I'm so tired of that. Like,
I'm just
Anyway, luckily this is all we had to replace. Our other one, I was able to redneck engineer it. We do still need to get a new circuit breaker, but for today, this ought to get us by. Now, somebody please tell me how this got wrapped way down there.
and moved, what, 50 feet?
And
That's it.
no idea.
And that's for just for moving from in here to right down the gravel drive there. Luckily Kenworth, they were open this Sunday. They had one of those. It's not the exact same as what was on there, and I don't even know what it is, but they did have something that we could make work. So got all that fixed. I think she's ready.
No, we gotta look because that housing is broke. So what do you want to do about
We do need to do some. We do need to do some fixing on our plug-in housings because it jerked and kind of broke them, but they are working right now. They will get us by today.